I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is recorded today. Also pay my respects to the elders past and present, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be listening today. Sovereignty was never ceded. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. This is Melanated in Melbourne, the podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. After the show, be sure to leave a review, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our Patreon for exclusive content. Welcome back, Melanation. I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is Melanated in Melbourne.
Melanated in Melbourne. Ah, wow.
Wow, we are back.
And we're black.
And we're hella black.
As always.
For season 4.
Season Quattro. They changed a few things around.
They
There
did.
was no more frying chicken.
No.
There's no more chicken hitting the oil sound. We have...
We still have the Proud Boys clapping, though.
Not the Proud Boys. Hold up now.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
It is still the same energy, but that's
Get
okay.
your cheeky torches.
Not the cheeky. The thing that I've actually noticed is, well, actually the thing that they will notice is that we're now in 4K. Look at us.
Period.
Look at us.
Exactly.
Look at us. We're getting better with every single season, and I love to see it. How have you been? It's been, do you want me to tell you how long it's been?
Yes. She
It's-
said begrudgingly,
it's been
absolutely regretting saying yes.
7 weeks. Actually, no,
7
it's
weeks?
been 2 months. It's been 2 months.
Oh.
Because the
well,
season
that's not
finale
too bad.
dropped right before New Year's, but we recorded it like early mid-December because it was right before the Doechii concert. So now here we are 2 months later.
Unreal. Okay, that's not too bad, but it's also a little bit scary. And I also feel like I'm in Severance a little bit.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, no time has passed whatsoever. It feels like it
There
was
is no
just
warm bossing
yesterday.
say. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But no, it's good to be back. It's good to talk to you guys. Say our highs.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually really funny. One of the things I like to do is re-listen to the premieres just to see how far we've grown. And something that I noticed through the pattern that I actually forgot in real time is our 5th anniversary happened at the start of this month.
Oh my gosh, you're right. That's right, because we met in 2021 and we hung
February
out for the first
1st.
time on first. Oh, chimes. Oh, I forgot about that. Happy Friendiversary.
Happy Friendiversary.
What was I doing on the February 1st?
Probably recovering because our live show was on 30th.
Oh, you're right. Oh my
And that's also why I'm like,
gosh,
we
that's
definitely
so
forgot about it
funny.
because like life was just like bam, 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 bam.
Unreal. Oh, well, it's okay. Well, it's nice that we at least got to see each other before then. But we should have had a cake. I wish we would have had a cake.
Did somebody have a cake?
Someone has a cake. We didn't even get to have a piece of cake. Shout out to Big Ange from Mob Wives. Rest in peace, girl. We know you holding it down with the wise guys.
I don't even know who that is, but I'm happy. I love when you get excited about something because I'm like,
Fabulous woman from Staten Island, and she used to date the wise guys. And she was just so funny. And our live show went really, really well. I feel like I'm still on cloud 9.
oh,
Still
absolutely.
floating
It
from
was insane. So for those of you who missed it, that's totally okay because there
That's
will be
on you,
more.
'cause
There
we
will be-
told y'all.
We did. We told you on the internet. We bought ads.
We bought ads.
Your friend of a friend. All your favorites were there and you weren't. And that's okay for now. Ooh.
It's not okay.
It's not. It's probably.
Okay,
It's
I'm
actually
sorry. I
probably
won't
not.
bully this year.
Just, I will. My whole list of people and things I'm going to be bullying. So we'll get around. But it was our 3rd live event, and it was actually insane because there was so much behind the scenes that happened with the live show of things that should have happened, could have happened, would have happened, and it was just like anything else, you just kind of roll with it because what else can you do other than be like, that didn't go the way I wanted, but here we are. And
we are.
at the end of the day, once it was all rolling, the room was full of magic. Like,
it really, really was. And I mean, and now I realize that our events are not going to start on time.
No.
I mean, we'll be there to start on time, but the guests won't necessarily show up on time.
oh yeah.
Which I get because it was like a Friday.
Oh yeah, it was the
like
first
Friday
time we had a
afternoon.
Friday, so
Everything was going crazy for me that day. I was mad stressed coming in, and then I literally had to sit down and journal. I had to sit down and journal once I arrived because I didn't want to bring my aggravation on stage. So I've gotten really into journaling. Just something about the pen hitting the paper and just putting all your feelings onto a page. Highly recommend if you're looking for some sort of way to regulate yourself and decompress. Highly recommend journaling, and fortunately, it works. Working out and
Yeah.
endorphins. It's all real. I hate that it's real.
everything they keep telling you to go and be like, do these things. I'm like, you don't know what you're
want
talking
to.
about.
And then they have the nerve to work.
How dare you?
How dare they?
Tried and true.
Yeah, but it really did help, and I felt super centered and everything because I take hosting on stage like very seriously. It's a lot of serious business being silly.
Mm-hmm.
It may
seriously unserious.
It may look all whimsical and just floating through the wind, and it's just like, oh my God, manic pixie dream girl, like whatever happens, happens. But no, I take very sincere and deep investment in making sure that the vibe is cultivated and making sure that, because you want to set the tone right.
Absolutely.
And luckily, everybody showed up. Like, we opened our doors at like 7 o'clock. Some people didn't show up to 7:05. That's another story.
Yep.
But then the rest of the crowd showed up probably like at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
At first, when it was 7 o'clock, when we had to open our doors and not a whole lot of people were there, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to internalize this. And if there's only 3 people in the crowd, then that's it. I'm going to show out
most
for them
engaged
3
people. Absolutely.
I'm going to show out for them 3 people in the crowd. However, it ended up being more than 3.
Nearly 200 people.
Oh. I was trying to make a joke.
100.
It was 6 people. It ended up being just under 200 people, which was like an incredible turnout.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like a lot of new faces because we did some ads. We did people who were complete strangers. Like the first few shows, it was a lot of our friends, a lot of people that I like held them by the neck, like, you will show up to this. And this time around, we're just like, I know what we have, and people also know what we have. The word of mouth was really strong. Our friends of friends were sharing things in the lead up to it. As someone who's like always been like, logistics are my thing. Like, I'm going to make sure the pieces are all connecting and moving all the things in the background. But one of the things I noticed a lot more this time is there are people just organically sharing our things. Like, hey, come to this thing. Even if they weren't involved in the show, they were just like, I'm going to this. Come check it out. It's really cool. It's really fun. They're like friends of friends, or people who saw it on the internet, or they heard from a friend, or they just walked by. And it was just really engaging. People showed up as strangers and left as friends. Like, that's one of the things that I was just like, no matter what went awry, it still happened. Nobody died, and we had a great time in the process. So I was just very happy with the outcome. It was really magical. One of the things that I loved, maybe a slight rant, is anytime there's something good happens, especially as a creative, someone else is like, "What's next?
Yes.
What's next? What's the next thing you're doing?" And I'm like, "Bitch, are you paying me? Like, are you hopping in? Are you putting in some work?" Because as fun as it is, because it ends up being just like a 3-4 hour event, which feels like nothing in the moment. You're just like, this is fun. The time flies. But that's months of preparation. Like, that's a lot of engagement. That's a lot of networking. That's a lot of dealing and wheeling in and conversations and troubleshooting to have to come into a 3-hour event, which is a magical thing, but it also flew by. And for people to be like, hey, what's next? Immediately after, like, that was 2 weeks ago, baby. Let me breathe. Yeah. Let me sit down. Let me take my shoes off. So, like, I do love that, and I do also love a lot of people are really happy to engage with us and help with the ground. And I know that this is going to be the smallest event we will have.
Yeah, because it's only going to go up from here, baby.
Absolutely.
I can't even believe the amount of new faces came by themselves. And man, shout out to those people who like came on their own. I think it's amazing when somebody's like, no, I want to check this thing out. Even if I don't have anybody to go with, I'm just going to go. And then they were able to like network and make friends and have connections there. And we had to, oh my God, the dancing. Bitch, I think I hurt my spleen because I was twerking that hard. Shout out to Tavanga, my God.
Absolutely.
The immaculate DJ set. Like, it was unbelievable. As always, I wish I would have stretched. I felt very.
I actually was so sure that you did stretch. Well, now that I know that you were journaling, I thought Nicole was stretching in the back. When Nicole was taking a moment, I had to take a lot because I was also having a day and a half. Like, there was something about that air, something about the energy that was just so chaotic.
That Friday was crazy. It wasn't the 13th.
It is today, though.
Oh. The 13th. Sorry, I had to figure out.
I know. I was also just looking at the keyboard, like.
I didn't figure out which button made the most sense.
The screen now tells you what sounds are there.
I know, but I was like, I was like, rim shot don't make sense. Trombone, no, it ain't. This ain't the brass section. No crickets, but the record scratch felt most fitting. But the 13th
is
new, but that was our Friday the 13th. That was it. We already had a pre-cool, so now I ain't
not even worried about it. Yeah. Here we are. I mean, we're going to have another one in March because that's the way that works with every 4 weeks.
That's the way it goes. Woo! That's the way it goes. Shout out to Janet Jackson. Love you so much, girl. I know you listening. Shout out to Janet.
Absolutely.
All right, that's enough. But
Not too much. Not too much. Was anything from the live show a surprise to you?
Was there anything from the live show that surprised me? It's not a surprise per se, but it's almost like there is just this untapped well of local, beautiful, talented POC queer artists that we have at our fingertips who do not always get the chance to shine. So am I surprised? No, but I was pleasantly just blown away by the level of talent that we had there that night. So I quite loved all of it. Was there anyone? I was like, Chantal was one of the most amazing dancers that I had ever seen.
Absolutely. Shout out to Chantal. We had crossed paths a few times, like indirectly, just because Chantal was formerly in House of Diesel. Now she's a Double O, which if you listen to season 3, you'll know what that means.
Double O.
But we had crossed paths a few times, and whenever like she was blowing up, especially being in Paris, doing their ballroom scene and taking home trophies, I was like, I need you for my show. And like obviously very busy running around the world doing the globetrotting, so I didn't actually expect she to be available to come to the show, but I was like, this is supposed to happen. Like manifesting and telling the universe what's supposed to be has been working out splendidly for me. So I'm like, this is going to happen. And as we were getting ready to finalize the list, she replied to an email. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I missed this. Thank you for your patience with me. I would love to be involved with this.
Gosh,
let me know.
Lovely. She's just a beautiful soul as well. So lovely. The vibes were immaculate. The talent was top tier. Fantastic. And then also our other girl, Misunderstood.
Yes.
Shout out to Rue.
Shout out to Rue.
Man. So
started the show so magically. Like I, again, being very strategic, very logistical, I was like, these are the artists we have. Like, how do I want the energy to flow? And I was like, I want to start here and then do a little dance and have people like, okay, you have an idea of what we're about. And then I want to just like send it into space. Yes. And like every position was so everything was organized so coordinatedly, but then the performers just went above and beyond the expectations. Like at some point I would stand in the crowd, I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, Nicole was also standing in the crowd, but also twerking in the crowd. 100%. So I had to go collect Nicole from the crowd repeatedly.
Multiple times. Because if you ever need to find me, I'll be on the dance floor. And then also our little singing zaddy, Sim, aka Sim Card, aka Sim Simma, who got the keys to my bimba. They were so cute. Shy Daddy vibes. He's so cute.
I am obsessed with. So Sim is another individual. So like the whole reason that anytime we do like the variety shows, I really want to get people that are like personal friends, because I will only work with people who are excited to work with us.
100%.
That's all that I have energy for. And
no, I'll save it. That's okay. Continue.
So yeah, only one excited for people who want to work with us. And that was actually Sim's third live performance ever.
God.
A lot of the times when people get invited on, when I first asked him to join the lineup, he was like, oh, is it okay if I'm on this? I feel like I'm not allowed to do. I'm like, shut up. You are part of the crew. You are here. You are queer. You are absolutely going to be doing this whole thing. And he got up there. It was the biggest show he's ever done. Oh. Like I've never seen Sim smile that much.
Oh my God, he was so cute. And he has like little dimples and light eyes and everything. And then he was also bringing like the R&B vibes, because we are in an R&B drought.
Absolutely.
Especially with male R&B artists. So I was very much, my soul was quenched that he was bringing back the yearning, sexy R&B songs. It was fantastic.
Bring back horny sad boy vibes all
horny
day.
Sad boys. Shout out to the horny sad boys.
A mess. One of my favorite things about this live show in particular was that it was so much more black than all the other ones. And that was because I made people pay the Colonizer Fee.
Tell them about the Colonizer Fee.
So in the first few live shows, like very happy, Melanated to Melbourne is and always will be a black podcast. We're here for black queer liberation all the way through. And as much as we enjoy our friends and family who like are just here for a vibe, it is for us by us. And one of the ways that I was sitting down, I remembered going to a queer POC event a year or two ago, and they had their tickets. It was like for black people, one price, and it was like for allies, or I think they just said for everyone else or something. And I'm like, I want to steal that, because realistically, what are they going to say? Like, oh, why is this more money? Like, it's not for you, babe. It was never for you. So each ticket bracket went up over time. And by doing so, a lot of white people were like, oh, no, it's more money. I'm like, well, you weren't down for the cause anyway. The white people who got it, who understood that they were a guest in the space, were happy to pay that. There were little people who were volunteering to buy other people tickets.
Yeah, which was so nice.
And like that restored my faith in humanity, because that was, again, it was a day from hell, but the leading up to it. And there were people like, hey, I can make it or I can't make it. But if people are like financially struggling, let me buy them a ticket. Like, let me do whatever. And I'm like, that's beautiful. So I knew the people white people who were going to show up and be actual allies were like, oh, $5, that's a coffee, whatever. I want to be here. I want to support this cause. And doing more events like this, it's going to support melanated people. So the Colonizer Fee popped off exactly as it should. And we had 70% of Black and brown people in the crowd.
Thanks for your coins.
Thank you for your coin. And thank you for your presence, because being the blackest event that we've had yet, always the word yet, like that's the word there, yet. It was just such immaculate energy. The amount of people that went up was like, I needed this. Like, this is exactly what I was looking for. And that was what we were hoping to cultivate, because the event was a variety show, but it was also a recruitment event, because I've been repeating it over and over and over again. Like, we're starting an organization, and we'll be having our first general meeting in a few months. It's still a few months from the releasing of this episode. And we just want to do more things like that, and also want to get more feedback from other people to be like, hey, let's meet up and have a black coffee. Let's meet up and have a picnic. Let's meet up and have a karaoke night.
I would love that.
And like, it's all in the works, and it's all moving. So if you're interested in that, send us an email, slide in our DMs, because we're still collecting information, collecting people. You don't have to be a leader. You don't have to have all these set skills. You could just be a villager who just wants to show up and be amongst community and wanting to fill in wherever you can, because everyone has a role and everyone's needed for what's coming up next.
For sure.
One of the things that we really want to do this season 4, we're more crisp than before. We're more polished and perfectioned. We're going to keep it more polished and perfectioned, and having a little bit more structure so you know what to expect with each episode is going to kind of be the thing. So this will be the slight difference, only because it's the season premiere. But the new structure will be introductions, who we are. If there's a guest, hey, how you doing, guest? I'm good, thank you. How are you? And then we'll go into our Diva draft picks, which will be a recurring series, because there's so much good music. There's so much music that has impacted our lives in so many different ways. So we actually wanted to go through and just do one album an episode. It's supposed to doing one episode where that's the whole thing, because music is always present. And there's so much more 100%. To talk about, so much more to engage with. And with the Diva draft pick, we have not finished the Beyonce album, so we're going to go ahead and start with those, and then just kind of bounce back and forth. And whenever we have our guests, we'll give them a heads up in advance of what album we're doing that episode, and so they can engage as well. So we'll probably just do like a top 2 for each of us, and then go from there. But for today, we're going to go ahead and start with Beyonce's debut album, Dangerously in Love.
Yes, and what a debut.
Who wants to go first? You want to do rock, paper, scissors?
Let's do it.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Or
yeah, shoot.
Okay, and best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Rock.
Okay. 1,
2. Okay. So my first pick for Dangerously in Love is going to be Baby Boy.
Yeah, fantastic choice. It's such a good song.
I don't know any of the lyrics. None of them are real. But you can't not dance, especially the scene of the stand.
100%.
Sean Paul.
Oh my gosh, Sean Paul was like such a moment back then, because that was when I mean, like, obviously, like, West Indian people have known about, like, you know, like, dance hall music, but that was like the first time that I was like realizing that it was like in the mainstream and stuff, because Sean Paul, just give me the light, a little bit of temperature, then he had the nerve to do a song with Beyonce. It was just everything.
Out of this world, so, 1,000%.
Fantastic. And it was a great video too, because I think that was like the time that we got introduced to Beyonce's alter ego, Sasha Fierce, because she was like, she's like, I don't feel too comfortable doing this, but I tap into my alter ego, Sasha, and then I'm able to become that. And then she had that long wig. She looked fantastic. I think that, well, I already know what my instinct is immediately. My top choice is going to be Naughty Girl, because it was just... It's the Donna Summer sample. Had the nerve to be so good. The music video had Usher in it as well. Jay-Z, count your days, because we should have had a song with Usher and Beyonce, like, all the way back then, because they were just massive. But I think he stopped that. I think he stopped that from happening, because he was a bit too much of a hater.
We waited till, was that Love in This Club Part 2?
Yeah, yep. And that still wasn't like, I want them to like collaborate, but I think that ship has... Oh, that ship has sailed. Yeah. The ship has sailed. However, having him in the Naughty Girl video was just like everything.
1,000%. Well, because you took that one, I'm going to have to take Crazy in Love. I'm going to have to take Crazy in Love. It was her debut single, that short booty shorts and the white singlet, just walking down the street. Everybody did that. Like, I knew I was gay since before I knew what the word was.
Yeah.
But that music video was like, yes, absolutely yes. Like, I'm not sexually into this, but I'm just like, I'm just into it. I'm like, yes, I can watch this a million times over and over and over. Please and thank you.
Yeah. Man, there's a couple of ballads on this album that I'm really trying to...
we got to get a ballad because Mark will have our heads.
I know. Shout out to Mark, who is just like, no love for the ballads? No, but like love the ballads. I'm trying to decide whether I pick from my own personal favorite.
Or if you're trying to like balance it out to win the votes. Because again, we're still going to go vote on Instagram as we always do.
Actually, I'm going to change this because because I have a deep connection to Me, Myself, and I. So that's going to be my next pick. Because, because I remember, I always knew my mama was mad and angry when she would blast that song in the house. Like, me, myself, and I is all I got. And I'm like, Mom, are you okay? What's going on?
No, my God.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, she's expressing her emotions through song because, I guess that was just like her song. I quite loved it. Again, another great video. She shot it backwards. Like, it was really, really cool and really impactful. And I also love the wig she wore in that as well. So I'll go with that one for my second pick.
Ooh. So it's actually really funny. I'll show you my list, but everything that I pick is the order that we've I pick 6 songs from every album because I'm like, watch Nicole and I just be like, ding.
Yeah.
So Me, Myself, and I was going to be my next pick, but I think I'm going to have to go with a ballad as well to round my picks off and say yes.
Yes.
Because I think that was one of the first songs where just like, I was always been like, I need to dance. Like I was 12, I think, when this album came out. So it was just like the idea of having like genuine emotion. I've never been in a relationship. None of these things were relatable to me, but I'm like, imagine if you were like dating somebody and they're like, I gave you everything, and as soon as I stand up for myself, you get weird. Fuck you. So yes is absolutely going to be my third pick.
Ooh, oh man. Okay, so I have a couple ones that I'm thinking about. Beyonce was definitely in her grown woman bag, even though she was like real young and I was not that old. I was not older at that point in time either. You know what? Straight off of the fact that she sang this at her Renaissance tour and she opened with it as like a love letter to her fans. So I'm gonna have to go with Dangerously in Love as my third pick because it's just so, oh my God, it's just like, I love you, baby, I love you. You are my life, my happiest moments were incomplete with you were by my side. It's just so incredible. It's a great song, and the fact that she opened her tour with it, she was just in her R&B bag with this. Close second for me is Speechless. You know how I feel about Speechless. But there is a little bit of a battle between Speechless and Rocket. I think it's just like of like her like sexy songs, which is like from another album. I really love Speechless. Another close third for me is definitely the song that she has with Luther Vandross because that was just... Again, my mama loved her some Luther. Like, I know Luther Vandross's catalog back and front because that's all we would listen to in the car. He was one of the most talented singers. He was a great background singer as well, and musical arrangers as well. And the fact that they did a cover together was just a stamp of approval of Beyonce's talent and star power. The fact that she joined with somebody who was just remarkable, like a male diva through and through. He had cashmere wallpaper. Yeah. When In Vogue was opening for him, he didn't allow them to walk past his dressing room. He's like, y'all got to go around. And when they walked past his dressing room on the way to the stage, when they got off stage, he had the police waiting for them. Because he's like, y'all are trespassing. I don't know. Diva behavior. I love it. But I think I'm going to have to go with Dangerously in Love for my last pick.
Then the final 3, I have chosen Baby Boy, Crazy in Love, and Yes.
I've chosen Naughty Girl, Me, Myself, and I, and Dangerously in Love.
So you guys can sound off in the comments when we post this episode to see who won this particular battle.
Yes.
And now we'll go back to the rest of the episode. One of the things that I really wanted to, remind everyone is that we are doing this of our own fruition. It's a love letter to our people. It's a love letter to us. It's one of the things that we are continuing to put our energy into. And on top of having the actual standard podcast fortnightly releases, we also started a Patreon, which is honestly filling up with a bunch of different content. Like right now we have all the visual episodes of season 3. All of season 4 is going to go on there as well. But we have a mini series as well called Riri Down Under. And that's basically just chronicling my first experience in Australia Australia, running through all the major cities, talking about who I was as a wee 20-something-year-old, being like, this is just a year. Let's fuck around and find out. And the way that I did fuck around and find out in this window, and I've had a lot of fun. We've already recorded a few episodes. It'll be a monthly release. By the time this is out, there will at least be 2 episodes of the 8-part series. And we're going to have Nicole on one of the episodes.
I think so.
One of the things that we're doing was basically talking to people from back in the States, some of my friends here in Australia, and just the people who have also been to those cities, had their experiences there, whether their first experiences or they lived there, and just kind of giving their input as well. And what about you, Nicole? Like, what would you want to play around with just with your brainchild of our Patreon?
I'm going to be doing coffee and chats with different Black Americans here in Australia because I've met quite a few of them. It was so funny. The other day, I was on my way home from the gym, and I was walking past, this like Mexican restaurant, which always seems to be a theme within my life. And it was like this table of all these beautiful Black men that were sitting there. I was like, well, I have to go say something. And I walk up to them and I was just like, are y'all having a secret Black people meeting and you didn't invite me? Now, this could have only gone one of 2 ways. They could have been like, get out of here, crazy. But they were actually so loving and warm and receptive. And they were like, come sit down with us right now. They were like, we're going to get you a margarita. You want a taco? And it was just, I got to be around this energy that I had missed so deeply. Yeah, and was able to strike up friendships with them. And I think each month I'm going to try and go to, there's a Black coffee shop called Lil Homie, shout out to them, that I'm going to be having a conversation with somebody and kind of getting their story about like what they love about Australia and what it means for them to be here. Because there's more. There's more of us here. We just are disconnected.
Yeah, and through the projects, through the live shows, we have been finding people. Like at our live show, there was someone who I think was from Bendigo and drove all the way down by themselves, being like, hey, I support the Patreon, like support this podcast. I'm glad y'all are doing this. Like the amount of people who said they were getting their lives from us, just talking shit and having fun and just being here has been really encouraging, especially because sometimes, like obviously we're not expecting to go big overnight, have 1 billion listens and all these other crazy things, but the impact of one person ripples into 1 million different things. Helping one person can help 100, who will help another 100, and then like that little action, that little push just made the difference to someone else. And like I love it, and it's great. It's more frequent. It's becoming more frequent. So I love that idea. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we're gonna just be sharing. I always want to hear about people's stories and how they found themselves to be here and how they've been surviving here and like the different interactions that they've had, because everyone has a story. Everyone has a story, and I want to hear all of them or a lot of them.
I guess we can give them a little bit of a teaser of what's to come for the season. So one of the things that we teased about in the last few seasons that we didn't get to follow up through because of former friends being fake-ass hoes was the street art in Melbourne, because it's such an institution to Australia, and I really wanted to have someone who is like on the ground, has been doing it for ages, so we have someone lined up for that. We have a few more Black Americans, we want musical theater episodes because people have been eating that shit up. So, and one of the things we want to get back to is just kind of also talking about our experience, like Nicole said, in Australia. And y'all seem to love us ranking things. So we're going to rank the suburbs, whether they're north side, south side, east, west, what have you. We're going to talk about them, our personal experiences with them, our own favorites, and just kind of play around with those. We're going to talk about Australian television.
We need to talk about this. I especially have a thing for Australian children's television because I've been talking to some of my friends at work, and they're telling me about some of the shows that they were watching when they were kids. And then I go and look it up, and I'm like, the Ferals? What on God's earth is this? So we'll get more into that when the time comes. But I'm excited because it's exciting to kind of give our take on Australian media, because it is completely different. I feel like it's probably a bit more mixed now. Like we get like a lot of American stuff here, but I think before
before like the day of the internet as it is now, with streaming being how it is.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to get into that.
Yeah, it's like, and one of the things I'm really excited about as well, because people have really responded well to our like throwback episodes, like, oh, the music that made us, the films that made us. I want to do an emo episode where we just talk about that, because there is something about why people don't get sad and run with their guitar and write their feelings anymore. They don't sit down and be like, you don't understand me, mom. Everything sucks. I need it back. I never had long hair. I never had those kind of emotional issues with my mom. Like, I love my mom. My mom was like, an angel. But when you're a teenager, everything still feels like the world is ending. And anytime something goes your way, you're like, Linkin Park didn't prepare me for this.
Oh, man, Linkin Park. I tried so hard and got so far. Oh, shout out to Chester Bennington. Rest in peace, King. Man, I loved me some Linkin Park. Loved me some Linkin Park.
Such an iconic thing. And actually, speaking of Linkin Park, I was rewatching the first 2 Transformers the other day because the connection is they were like the main single for the first 2 movies. Like the first one was What I've Done, and then the second movie was New Divide. And it was just like one of the things I noticed is they actually used that song as a score in the background of the entire movie. So those like pegged little pieces and like stretch it out, add some horns to it. And like it was objectively Transformers 2 is a horrible, hideous, horrendous film. Partially because of the writer's strike, because around that time they didn't have a writer. I actually looked it up. They started filming with a 14-page outline for the entire film. The film was 2.5 hours.
Wow, 14-page outline.
They had no idea. Like Stranger Things, watched them like, I can do that. And that's how they did their finale. But Transformers, the second one, awful. The first one, still kind of bad. But it had...
I don't even really remember it.
Good nostalgia.
Yeah, I don't really remember. I remember Shia LaBeouf. I remember Megan Fox.
Bernie Mac.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really remember a whole lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of robots, a lot of crashes. Michael Bay loved an explosion.
Oh, loves an explosion.
The man loved an explosion. And I'm like, go off. You do that for yourself.
I think if he wasn't a director, he'd be a fireworks.
Oh, most assuredly. Most assuredly. Actually, one of the things that I hadn't done while I was listening to our very first episode, which is 3 years old now, and when we were talking about the podcast and what we were going to be doing and how we're going to be working all these things, I made all these jokes about like, oh yeah, we don't know what we're doing. We didn't study for this. We're not actors. Well, all those things are lies now because I'm now studying for this and I'm now an actor. So I'm just like, okay, then listening back to the first episodes will be kind of fun, like to see where we came. It's like what we said, what we had hoped for, and what we reached. So one episode we were like, yeah, maybe one day we'll have an event and meet you guys. Yeah. And we've done 3 of them now. Yeah. And it was just like little pieces of things here and there. I was like, oh, well, maybe we'll have merch next time. Maybe we'll do like giveaways. And we do have merch. We have multiple pieces of merch, which are on sale on our website, by the way. Shameless plug. But it was just funny to see what we've manifested for the things. And there's one thing that I want to manifest for us as well, because we've talked about this previously. I'm not sure if you remember. That might spark your memory. You might not.
I don't remember anything.
She's like, remind me.
Yeah.
For the first time or the third time, whatever. We had talked about wanting to host our own gala, but one of the things I want to manifest is being nominated for the Amari Gala.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. That'd be fabulous. Amari Gala is like an event that takes place here in Melbourne each year. I think it's like African Australians.
It's like it celebrates the excellence in African Australian community, whether it's like social media, justice, different content creators, entrepreneurs, and it's just such a beautiful night. I think it's gone around for a couple of years, and I was looking to them like, oh, because every time it happens, I like remember about it later on. But now that we've been doing like the gig guide and getting engaged with the community, I've been seeing a lot more smaller events, but really just like Black events that other people are doing that you have to be in the know to know about. Yeah. And so like I want to go. I'm going regardless. Like I'm going regardless, but I'm manifesting a nomination. Doesn't have to be this year. It would be dope if it was this year, but I'm manifesting a nomination for the Amari Gala. I don't know for what.
I mean, I'd be excited. Yeah, I'd be excited to just attend. Being nominated would be unreal. That would be unbelievable, because it's just like, I think that's why it's so important to have things like the Amari Gala or like the NAACP Awards, because we have to celebrate us. Because if you're looking for some sort of other entity to kind of like recognize what it is that we're doing, it doesn't necessarily always happen. So it's just like we have to lift each other up. And I think Amari Gala has done already a beautiful display of Black and brown culture here in Australia. So to be recognized by them would be really cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to attending this year. I'm already thinking about what it is I'm going to wear. So yeah, hopefully it happens. Fingers crossed and chimes.
What about you? Is there anything you want to manifest for the future, for yourself, or anything?
Well, I think that I'm still on my multi-hyphenate journey, because I've been acting for 5 years now, which is unreal. And then I've been doing improv for about 3 years now. And now I've stepped into being a stand-up comedian, which just feels like a natural progression of things, which I've been thoroughly enjoying. And I'm just looking forward to performing more because there's just something about feeling the power of saying your own words to a room full of people and then just like making them laugh. But it also gets you a chance to like speak. And in these trying times, I really do feel like my role is to provide escapism and joy for people. And I feel like I really get to do that as a stand-up comedian. I have one of my first shows coming up. Because I did a performance back in October when I attended this one stand-up comedy school. And now that I'm in a different stand-up comedy school, I'm realizing that that experience back in October wasn't as good as I thought that it was. Because the one that I'm in now is a much more uplifting, comfortable, conducive to creativity kind of environment. I'm really connecting with my classmates as well. Because when I did the one in October, the teacher was hyping me up. Like, because it was like a 5-day course, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday we had our first performance. The entire week, the teacher was like, Nicole, you're great. You're so funny. You know that you're funny. Like, just, let it all come out. And I'm like writing and doing all this stuff. And I go and I perform. And the thing about like stand-up comedy is like when you say your first joke and then it lands in the room, you're like, oh, wow, I'm out here. I'm out here for the rest of the time. And you have to just kind of like
write it.
You just have to ride the wave, and it's just like really thrilling, but it's also like really scary because you think it's gonna go one way in your head, and then you say it and you feel how it lands, and you're just like, oh man, you're just literally running off of a cliff and then just hoping that you sprout wings and fly. And I did well in that showcase. I did well for like my first time, but then afterwards, the teacher said to me after hyping me up for all those days, says to me, I don't think you have what it takes to be a stand-up comedian because I think you're just too happy of a person. And he said this to me, and I was just like, what? And then he also offered his coaching to me, like in the same breath, which was kind of just like, wait, if
I don't have it, why do you want my money?
Correct. If I don't have what it takes, then why are you wanting to coach me? But I think it was one of those, I think it's like the millennial, okay, I'm generalizing. Hold on.
Yeah, go on. It's allowed.
Yeah.
Opinion.
Opinion. I think that sometimes with being a millennial, we had like tough upbringings, like with like coaches and teachers and dance teachers, where we think that people are being tough on us because they're trying to make us better. At least that's what I was thinking. And it's not until I get a bit of distance from that, go into a more positive environment that I realize I'm like, that was a bit toxic because they're just trying to neg me because either you believe in me or you don't. You can't almost believe in me. Like either you think I got it or I don't. And yeah, after that experience in October, I was like brokenhearted. Like I cried. Like I was just like, wow, I thought I did a good job. And my husband came, my family came, my friend Rock came. Shout out to Rock. Thank you for supporting me. And I know that I did a good job, but it was just so funny that the teacher just told me that I didn't have what it takes. And now I'm in this new class and the teacher is just like, Nicole, you got it. And just has nothing but nice things to say. And my classmates feel the same way. So I'm looking forward to doing more open mics. I'm looking forward to performing more. I think I'm going to be doing stuff for the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Backtracking to my friend, Marlene slid into my DMs. All right. She's a Black French comedian living here in Australia. Don't know her from a can of paint. Slid into my DMs and was like, I think you should do this comedy competition. And I'm like, ma'am,
who are you?
Who are you? She's like, I think you can do it. You should try. You should try to do it. And it was so bold that the way that she came at me. And I was like, I've only just started. I'm just getting into it. I don't really know. And she was just like, no, you can do it. You should try. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I might as well just go for it. So I've signed up for a comedy competition that I'm going to be participating in. I think it's going to be on March 7th, so it'll be after this episode airs. But
it'll be the day the episode airs.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're...
It's happening right now.
If you're in Geelong, run on down to wherever the location is. This is not very good promo, but I'm going to be But she just was like, you should just go for it because people get up there all the time and they're not necessarily funny, and you have something to say and you should go for it. And Marlene, she ended up coming to the live event as well and brought a couple of friends, which was so fun. And I call her my bully. I'm just like, so I love you, bully. Thank you so much for believing in me and seeing something in me and forcing me to do something before I'm ready for it. But I think I'm in a point where I'm just kind of like, might as well just see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might as well just see what happens. But I'm excited to see where my karate? No. Karate's up next.
Okay, Sandy Cheeks.
Yeah, karate's up next. No, my comedy career goes off too. Yeah.
Beautiful. I think for me personally, how do I want to phrase it? I enjoy being an actor, but the thing that I'm excited about is the production of the podcast and where it's going to be growing in that space. Because that's where I feel my calling is. It's like bringing people together to feel like they have something with each other. Where it's like, so, because as I guess the global events keep globally eventing, and I have a rant about that as well. The importance of community is so incredibly important. It's like the importance of community is so important. It's important.
It is important.
But one of the things that I guess I've been struggling with as an actor is like the ethical ramifications of doing different roles. It's like on principle, as a Black queer man, I will never do a role as a cop. Like I don't want to do it. Like even if it's the most paid gig in the world that opened up all these doors, like I don't want that for myself. And then when you start to sit down with it, you start to unpack. It's like, well, what about this? Like, what if you have an ad for McDonald's? Like they're canceling or boycotting them. Like if you're taking their money, is that okay? Like, but then you start to think, oh, all money is dirty money because like it came from someone else. It came from bought slaves. It came from oil money. It came from like diamond reserves. It came like all money is dirty. So it's kind of like, I think I've had that, I guess, a crisis of identity with the space of, okay, well, being a socially conscious person, being a global citizen is so exhausting. Understanding that at any point someone is suffering and every action does benefit the oppressor in certain ways, but at the same time, you can be uplifting yourself as well. So kind of balancing that has been honestly putting my head through like the dishwasher repeatedly. And I don't know, are you dealing with something similar, or how are you processing with the world?
I don't know. I guess it's like with acting, so much of it happens outside of you because like somebody writes a thing, they have a role, and then you just kind of throw your hat in the ring to see if you'll get a chance to bring that thing to life. So there's like very little control with it. So the thing that I can control is like my own art. So I'm just kind of like taking the time to do that with like stand-up comedy and like wanting to become a playwright as well. Those are the bits that I can control. But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing about acting. It's like a lot of choices are made. Some of them are somebody else's choice, but then you have choices, but it's very little control.
Yeah.
So I guess you just get to pick and choose what speaks to you and doesn't speak to you. Because I would understand your reservation with like playing a cop and like playing into a system that has never ever benefited us. But then I think of Niecy Nash playing a cop on one of her shows. I'm thinking of Angela Bassett playing a cop in
911.
Yeah, 911. I think of like, Eddie Murphy getting his big start as like Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop. So it is a long history of it, but the thing is that you do what feels best for you. But yeah, if something doesn't really speak to me or I don't see or I feel a little bit weird about it, I think you have every right to say like, nah, this just isn't aligned with who I am as a person. Thankfully, I haven't been offered anything that's been, compromising.
Yeah, because like I've gone from having an extra agent to a features agent, which is super exciting. And I've had 2 featured roles as well, which is great, and they will pay the bills eventually. As we've talked about before, getting paid as an actor is very difficult because you do the thing and then there's all these hands that have to touch the money first before you get yours. And sometimes it's 4 weeks, sometimes it's 8 weeks, sometimes it's 12. And like as someone who is on Centrelink or the Australian welfare, missing those payments is like, I guess I can't go out this week. Or I guess I can't pay this bill on time. Or like it's really frustrating in that space. But a lot of the roles that I've been turning down is like, hey, we have a role for a cop. We have a role for a prisoner. And it's like all these very interesting roles that they want Black men for here. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing into this caricature for you because this is not what I'm excited about. This is a fun thing to pay the bills, but my craft is in storytelling. My craft is, like you said, having control of the story. And I think that's been one of the things that's been very interesting because I could have picked up any job. I could have gone back to government at any given point. I could have accepted everything. So I'm like, I'm poor. I'm like, the money will come back. Like the money will show up. Everything always works out for me. I haven't died yet. Like I'm still here. I have a roof over my head. I'm surrounded by a wonderful community. Everything always works out for me. But I have chosen to struggle for what feels right. And I'm happy with that. But there's another thing that I'm kind of, I guess, maybe encouraging for myself to say out loud, or encouraging to our listeners, is especially around as we keep losing a lot of people that we grew up idolizing, not like losing them to death, but like realizing that
they're dead to me.
Yeah. So. Honestly, that. So it's like, but like losing Nikki or
yeah, dead. You were saying?
All the people that we idolize and we were looked up to, whether they were just like coming out as like problematic and being magna, or they're in the Epstein files. A lot of people are having identity crisis, and there's some people like, oh, I've listened to this person my entire life, but now I found out they're doing all these horrible, awful things. And one of the things that I've kind of reassured myself is like, the lessons and memories and connections that we made through their media will always still be there. The life connections, it will always be here. Whatever purpose it served for you, that's not taking away from the purpose. Like, if you continue to support them and you know they're, then that's, again, up to your moral character and your moral compass, and I can't tell you how to live. But one of the things that I have really been emphasizing for myself is a lot of the parasocial relationships that we form because of social media have given us brain rot a little bit. Like, it's to be like, oh, yeah, so-and-so is doing this. Like, Ariana Grande is in London. I have to go spend thousands of dollars and chase her. I love Ariana Grande, but realistically, she doesn't know who I am. She does not care. She's living her best life, and we should all be doing the same. Like, we can enjoy the media to an extent, but say tomorrow comes out and it turns out that she's been kidnapping children and eating them.
And using their ponytails.
That is fucked up, and that's shitty. Should you still be supporting her? Probably not. But the moral compass, it moves. And that's the thing, like, what's moral to you may be different to someone else in another country with different morals and different aspects and different ways of living. But what you can do that keeps yourself, I guess, grounded, if you will, is support your people. Like, the energy you're putting into celebrities who don't care about you, billionaires who would never blink an eye if you live or die. Think about your friends. Like, those are the people, those connections you should be investing in. That's the energy you should be like, oh, my friend has a show. This $20 is better spent there rather than $2,500 flying across the world to be a dot in a crowd, as opposed to someone who's got a one-woman show and it's a room of 50 and they see their friends in the crowd and like, oh, shit. You're there for me. And like building that connection, building that community with your fellow creatives and your fellow community members is what's going to matter the most, because honestly, it's going to keep getting messier. Like, the more and more things that come out, and it's going to feel heavy because you feel like, oh, I've been left alone. All these people that I looked up to, they weren't there for you physically anyway. Like, this is an idea. Physical people are physically there, and that's who you should be leaning on. That's who you should be turning to. And I'm very grateful for my community for having done that, as everything's been super stressful or difficult, and just being available. Like, I think that's my... support local is the end of that, I think.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's like, be careful who you call your heroes, ultimately, because we never really know these people until something comes out and you're just like, oh, wow, they actually were not a very good person, or actually they haven't really been like morally. Yeah, they're pretty much morally bankrupt people. But I'm also grateful for finding out exactly where someone stands.
Yes.
I'm actually pretty grateful for that. I know
Expose
I'm like
yourself,
really
please.
in a weird way, but I'm just like, oh, if you on that side, then I just can't mess with you. Like, I just can't rock with you in any way, shape, or form. And I'm glad I know that now. But I hear what you're saying. It's just like, invest in the people around you, because that's who's really going to hold you down during these times. But if everyone could just stop doing terrible things, that'd be great.
Yeah, honestly, because like one of the that's
that'd be wonderful.
That's literally what my brain is like. I'd love to be like, oh yeah, this, and next week I'm like, oh, I have to retract my statement of supporting Ariana Grande because she did this thing. I'm sorry, Ari. I hope you didn't do anything. Like, you're just the first person that popped.
Ariana Grande.
This is the first person that popped in my head. Like, no tea, no shade. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to have to do any retraction or redactions, and I honestly don't think I will, because it's not like we're saying this is Jesus and you should be supporting them forever. Like, if we loved somebody and we find out that they were doing dirty, now we know. Like, because these are recorded, these are time-stamped things, we're not going to go back and be like, I rebuke every good thing I ever said about this person, because the impact was still there. I still felt well about that person at that time. But the sign of intelligence is being willing to change your mind when new information arises. And I think that's really important, especially right now, as a lot of things are telling us to believe what they want us to believe, as opposed to our eyes and the evidence in front of us.
I also think we need to like get some sort of database on who's canceled and who's...
Yes, with push notifications.
Because it's like, I hear this all the time, because I always say which music platform that I still like use. And then you say what it is that you use, and then you hear about the moral ramifications of like supporting such a thing, which I love, but I'm just like, okay, so what are the other alternatives? And they mention another alternative, but I'm like, but wait, isn't that company funding the genocide that's going on in the Congo right now by building their devices? Like, how are they better than this one? So it's just kind of like, I understand that we all want to be on the right side of things, but I also think that we need to have a bit more understanding and organization.
Yeah.
Because every time I turn around, it's like you like somebody, and then it's just like, oh, they did this, that, and this. And like, oh, I like this company. Well, this company has done this, that, and this. And it's just kind of like, dang, I wish I knew exactly how to keep up with all this. This is not me complaining. It's not, because I understand why we're doing these things, but dang,
you're allowed to be exhausted.
Like, I'm just trying to figure out, how do we stay updated on all these things? Because not everyone's in the know. Not everyone knows, and you get ranted at, and I'm just like, oh man.
I think at the end of the day, ethical consumption under capitalism does not exist.
It doesn't. Like, that's why it's just like, come up off some people. Like, don't be too hard on people. Hold these people who are doing real terrible shit.
Hold these people, elected officials, accountable. Hold your government accountable when they're doing fucked up things and bringing genocidal presidents to your country. You say something, do something about it. Whenever you have the capacity to do so, but we can't all be perfect. We can't all be doing every little thing perfectly, but that's also why it's good to have community members. Because there was someone I shared a video, because again, like you said, you don't know everything. And one of my friends slid in my DMs, not aggressive, be like, hey, just a heads up, so-and-so is essentially a coon. And they have been doing all this fucked up shit in the last few years. I'm like, oh, understood. And I deleted it. But
not coon allegations, bitch.
Right.
Why can't y'all just act right?
Genuinely. And I'm like, thank you. Because again, if you have to correct a friend, do it with love. Like, if you care about them, do it with love. Because he could have slid in our DMs like, I can't believe you shared that. Unfollowed, you're a terrible person. He was like, no. Hey, just a heads up, babe. Because they know my character. They know I'm not intentionally platforming these horrible people. But we don't know what we don't know. And at the end of the day, we're all doing our best. And we're tired. We're trying. And...
yeah, Coon Watch 2026. We're going to come... We're going to come out with a list now. I mean, everything's canceled.
Yeah, everything's canceled. Surprisingly, we haven't been yet. We talk about that every season premiere as well. Like that, I know. It's like famous or canceled. And so far, the fame is growing and the cancellations have not happened yet.
I'm still here. I'm. Shout out to Tisha Campbell. I know you listening. Unless you're canceled.
Do you want to know what's funny?
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
You've done this 3 season premieres.
Period. Exactly.
Consistency is key.
100%
Consistency is key. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
But do you have any final send-off words?
I don't think so, no?
No, because I think that we've covered a lot. I feel like every season we just kind of...
Sorry. No, I do have something to say, but you say your thing first.
Oh, no. I think just every season we do come in here and... looking back at all the episodes that we've had, it's like, oh, we come in here with a different mindset. Like I said earlier, intelligence is the willingness to change your mind about things. There are certain people that we used to stand that we like, well, we can't do that anymore. And there's certain things we used to be scared of. And now we're like boldly standing up and like, actually, I feel this way and I'm going to stand up for myself. Especially you. Like, you've done so many things. Standing in your light and being like, old me would have accepted this to keep the peace. But now we're like, fuck the peace, because the world is burning so fast. Holding in all these things you should be saying out loud is only hurting you. It's only going to be making things worse for you. So if something doesn't sit right with your soul, if it messes with your morals, say something about it. Yeah. Make yourself go broke, because it's not like these billionaires who are not doing anything with their power or money. If it's going to keep you from sleeping well at night, do something about it. If it's going to bother you, it's going to be on your mind repeatedly. Anything that you don't change, you choose. So act accordingly.
Yeah. I've been thinking about how social media is a highlight reel. You're always seeing like the best moments in somebody's life. Like some people are putting up the tragedies that happen in their lives.
Going live and crying.
Yeah, like some people do that and like, hey, like, I don't know, maybe they're getting dollars for crying. Like, more power to them. That's just not personally
a dime per tear.
Yeah, like, it's just not my ministry. I don't know. Maybe they got a cry kink. Maybe they got like only tissues. Maybe they got some
only
sort
tears.
of only tears. Maybe it's only tears. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna knock somebody's thing. But nowadays, social media is like a highlight reel. We're seeing all the good things happening to people that it'll make us feel like nothing is happening in our lives, like something good isn't necessarily happening in our lives. And you start to feel pangs of envy for what someone else has or has done or achieved. And it makes you feel depleted because you're comparing yourself to what's going on in their life. And I'm just here to say that gratitude is a really, really great way to go, because there's probably things happening in your life that that person that you're envying right then and there wishes that they had, but they wouldn't necessarily know about it. If we were to put all of our problems on the table, like everyone put all their problems on the table, and you got to see what everyone else's problems were, honey, you would grab your own problems back, because you're just like, I don't even know how to deal with what you got going on over there. So you would take your problems back unless your problems are extra, extra crazy. And I understand why you would want to offload them. But I say all this to say that if the universe, if God is blessing other people in your circle, that means he's in the neighborhood, baby. Your time is on the way.
He could be next door.
If you see other people in your life receiving blessings and having something great happen to them, that means your time is coming up. Your blessing is on the way too. So don't get discouraged. Stay encouraged. Be grateful for the beautiful things that you have in your life, because at one point in time, they can just go away. And then you really, really miss them. So take stock of the things that you should have appreciation for in your life. And rather than living through the eyes of comparison and thinking about the lack and like, I want to have this and I want to have this, start to be like, man, I'm so grateful I got this. I'm so grateful I got a great partner. I'm so grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm so grateful that I have enough money to buy groceries and stuff, because not everybody has that. So I want you to plug into your gratitude in your grat bag.
We're Australian. We can say grad bag.
And get in your grad bag, mate. Get on in it.
Get your G-bag.
Hey, get in your G-bag. G-bang. Get right into it. Take stock of all the things that you're really grateful for and throw it right in the sack, mate.
We almost went an episode without your Australian accent. We almost went.
We almost went that way, but not yet, mate. Because I'm still here. That's all I have to say.
Beautiful. No, I think that was wonderfully said, accent and all. And the gratitude is good. Audacity and gratitude. Audacity is my word of the year, and gratitude is like my feeling of the year, because especially reflecting back on where we've been and where we've come, because I'm coming up on nearly 10 years in Australia, and me 10 years ago could never imagine this life. Me 20 years ago would have died if you said anything close to this was possible, because there's some things on the horizon that I'm just going to knock on the wood that again will shift the bar to another point. I'm like, whoa. How did that happen? Yeah. Anything is possible. Your turn could just be around the corner. Just be grateful for what you have and just keep grinding. Support each other and just take a moment and be present. I think being present has helped me a lot, because like you were saying, it's a highlight reel. And there's so many things that I've posted about that I've been waiting weeks, months, if not years to get to, that I've been grinding my ass off behind the scenes, because no one's going to show you the grind, because if you're grinding, you wouldn't be posting. Like, you can't be doing both. If you're focused on you, you really shouldn't be too bothered about what other people are doing anyway. And everything that we've done, everything that will be done, it's lucky, but it's also hard work. It's also being supported by community. And I'm very excited to see where we go. I'm grateful for the show. I'm grateful for Nicole. And I'm grateful to be... Five-year Friendiversary.
Yay.
And here's to 50.
Yes. I'm 50. I want to do another old people episode. I didn't get my fill.
We absolutely will be doing another old people episode. We got plenty of time. Also, we'll probably have to call my friend Lauren back, because the chaos in America is chaosing even harder. And what you see on the internet may not be the most direct depiction of what's happening. So talking to someone on the ground would be really helpful. But we're going to keep doing this for y'all. We're going to keep doing it for us, because this is a time capsule. And when we look back on this in 5 years, 10 years, whatever, I want to know where we were. And I'm really happy to see where we are now and to see where we go.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it, that we get to look back on it, because it's just like the very first episode, like the pilot episode that we recorded, and like, be proud of how far you've come. Like, be proud of your journey and how far down the road that you've gotten, because you never even thought you can get to this point. When you are in that moment of you're like, where am I going? And you're feeling lost, honey, just one foot in front of the other. Like, you're making progress. You on the way. You on the way. So just keep at it. So just keep at it. But so much fun.
Excited. I think that's a wonderful place to end. So until next time, I'm Ri'chard.
And I'm Nicole.
And this has been Melanated in Melbourne.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
This has been Melanated in Melbourne, a podcast that analyzes the Australian lifestyle from the lens of two Black American besties. Visit us at melanatedinmelbourne.com or follow us on Instagram to send us your comments or questions. Thank you for listening.